Hello, folks. So I'm going to show you once again. I have not shown it to you for several weeks. For about 3 or 4 months, I've been getting a scam that comes up on my computer about every 25 minutes. Sometimes it comes up every 4 or 5 minutes. Sometimes it doesn't come up all day. But most days it comes up every 25 minutes, all day, around the clock, and when it does, I have to take anywhere from 52 seconds to 2 minutes, and if I'm talking to someone 4 minutes, to scroll through, to skip through the 7, 8, 9, or 9 advertisements that this scam puts on my computer and making it impossible for me to use the computer because the scam advertisement fills up most or all of the screen. I am going to now show you the scam. I have recorded it several times over the last few months. I was very tempted to record it every time so that you guys could see how obscene, how violated it is. Violating. So here we go. I'm going to show it to you because I was about to try to go check an email that I wrote that has a deadline for me to get done. And as soon as I touched the computer, the scam appeared. So here we go. Here's what I go through every 25 minutes, all day, night and day, for months and months. Ready? I'm going to switch the camera angle to the scam. Page 1 of 789. Here we go. Okay, page 1. There's page 1. Big red sign. Says McAfee. Emerging cyber attack techniques threaten devices. Yeah, they're the ones threatening devices. They try to force you and strong arm you into buying McAfee products. They have the most aggressive tactics in the security space that I know of, certainly. All right, that's page 1. So to get it out of your computer and out of your face, you have to click this extend protection thing. So you click that. Then you get to page number 2. Page number 2 fills up the entire screen. It's mostly black. It says McAfee with a bunch of words and a picture of a blonde mother and a white blonde mother and a white blonde daughter who's 4 or 5, and they're having a fun time doing God knows what. And there's more words, and there's the prices of everything they want you to buy. And that's page 2. All right. Living the dream here, folks. Living the dream. That's page 2. Ready? And here we go. Page 3. All right. You hit skip. You go to page 3. And there's page 3. Page 3 looks very similar to page 2. Very similar. And now the product is Avast. And it's not always in this order, but Avast apparently has something to do with the security space. And so then you click skip on page 3. And then we get this, page 4. And the companies, like I say, rotate. This time in this spot, page 4, is Microsoft. So you can see it's a lot of really small, insignificant companies that are participating in this violation of my life, right? And whoever else has gotten this thing, it's been going on for months and months and months and months. And am I pissed? Oh, no. I love it. I love it when somebody sticks a broom handle in the wrong place, since in real life I was already raped. So, this is a great reminder. So what I say, this is page 4. Okay. All right, so that's 4. And there's page 5. Today's page 5 is support.com. That happens to be a company I really have not heard of before this. And page 6 is going to be a beautiful light show. How nice of them. And it says, thank you. We hope you've enjoyed exploring our special offers. You can always find us in your Start Menu app store, where you'll find amazing apps and exclusive deals. Wow, how generous of them, how gracious, how compassionate. Go to your app store. So now we go to page, what is it going to be, 7 or 8? I can't remember. And you get this page. The final page nearly always looks identical to this, with the exception that the top 2/3 ad switches from support.com, McAfee, Microsoft, Avast. I think it rotates between those 4. But below, the real fun part here, since we're all feel like we're at Disneyland right now, the real fun part is down at the bottom, companies that have not participated so far. Let's get in on the action before it's gone. Telegram, WhatsApp, Netflix, for God's sakes, Zoom, and Steam or Steam. Yeah, so they're all in here. Okay, so this is page what? 7, 8, 9? Now, on this page, finally up in the corner, is the first time they've ever given you an X to close out the thing. Okay, I hit the X, I close it out, it's gone. Now, sometimes the whole thing appears again within 4, 5, 6 minutes. Most of the time, it doesn't come back for 25, 30 minutes. Sometimes, to be fair to these criminals, it doesn't come by for a whole day, one whole 24-hour period. And it's been going on for months. So I'm going to leave this phone open just in case this blankety blank 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 thing comes back in 4 or 5 minutes. I'll still have the clock running. You guys can see that it really does that. In the meantime, I hope to do what I came over here to do in the first place, which was, and that was 8 minutes ago, because this thing has a timer on it, this camera. I was trying to figure out this email that has the deadline that I'm trying to send to Paul. Aren't we having fun? Holy moly. All right, here we are. We're still clicking. It's 8 minutes. All right. Set the phone right there. Secure it with some kind of a heavy object so that it doesn't slide. And just leave it running. And I'm going to now, this is just in case when I click, if the McAfee thing comes back, I'll have evidence that. All right, so I got to go to my little message from Paul, to Paul. I can't see it because my eyes are not that good, so I'm going to go over here and click forward and make a new version of the same thing. This is going to be version number 2. And I'm going to go down, and I'm going to take away the forwarding few lines. And I'm going to click Control A, and I'm going to change the font size from normal to large. Sometimes I change it to huge, but not always. Okay, now I can actually see it. So now I can go through and make the Grammarly sponsored spelling, grammar, usage corrections. If it will do them, and it may or may not do them, they've got to be done. What in the hell is that? There's a message coming up here. Shelley, 12:44 p.m. I don't know why anyone named Shelley would want to talk to me. I don't think I have a show with anybody named Shelley at 1, but I'll go double check here as fast as I can because it is 12:44. Okay, again, I'm going through trying to get the grammatical corrections made so that I can send this off to Paul Adigwe in Nigeria, who's trying to help me with, dare I say, getting a GoFundMe page. And so we're moving down this email that I wrote, trying to make as many grammatical corrections as I can find. Paul's going to fix it and rewrite it for me, but for now, and it did spell tangentially properly, it looks like, which is good. Oh, Lord, I love you. You're a wonderful God. You help me. Why you put up with me, I have no idea. How much trouble I'm going to get in for swearing on camera, I have no idea. Why am I so angry? I sort of have some kind of an idea. I've been through a lot in life, and I'm tired, and I'm old, and I'll die soon. You guys can go back and pretend that life is a really lovely, divine, easy to do thing that's just so equitable for everybody, where DEI is the main thing we do. Yeah, right, since Orange Jesus. You know, people actually call that guy Orange Jesus. I mean, have you ever met anyone whom you would want to call Jesus except maybe, Jesus? The ego, the narcissism, the misogyny is so far off the charts that I swear to God, I just can't even believe that we're in this situation. I spent my younger days organizing protesters and temporarily, meaning 3 or 4 years, being an anarchist and training people how to do nonviolent, dare I say, nonviolent civil disobedience, teaching the Gandhian concept of the way I pronounce it as satyagraha. Could be way off base, I don't know. Sure, a lot of misspellings in this document. So I am excessively tired. I'm hoping to call my psychiatrist and ask him for a PRN for sleep, but I'm afraid if I do that, I will open a Pandora's box. He'll say, well, you need to go back into the hospital again, because I've been in psychiatric hospitals probably 12, 15 times. I'm always afraid of having to go to one of those long-term ones that, just say, well, we just think society would be safer if you were locked up forever. Oh, thanks. Thank you so much. You guys are so kind. Anyway, I got a terrible headache. Yeah, so here I am. I'm just, I'm correcting words. Zoroaster doesn't give me the word Zoroaster. Can't even figure out how to correct it to Zoroaster. So I will do that myself. Zorester, Zori. Of course, I'm spelling it wrong. Yeah, I am spelling it wrong probably, and it may even go to press wrong. I don't know. Go to press? That sounds like a really old phrase, Grandpa. When were you born? I grew up with Abraham Lincoln's grandfather, Johnny. He was a wonderful man. Wow, Grandpa, that's really cool. So that would have been about, oh my gosh, 1700? Wow, that's cool, Grandpa. So that means that you're probably like 320 years old? Why, yes, Johnny. Grandpa is 325 years old. Isn't that fun? Wow, Mom. Grandpa's 325 years old. Yes, honey, we all know that Grandpa is 325 years old. Everybody knows it. It's not a big deal. It's just how it is. Don't be scared, Johnny. So I'm correcting the grammar still. Hey, Paul, I got it written in, 40 minutes to an hour. But then it took me 35 years and a trip to France on a spaceship in order to get all the grammar fixed. Wow, that's cool, Grandpa. What is grammar? Well, Johnny, back in the day we used to have words. What are words, Grandpa? Well, Johnny, now that you're part of the singularity, you probably won't even need to know what words are. Does that mean I can go to the park and play? Yes, Johnny, you can, as long as you take your 3 security guards with you so that, somebody and his Marines don't try to deport you, even though you're legally in this country, to some country you've never been to. Like if you were originally from, say, Nigeria, why, they might deport you to, I don't know, Venezuela or Cuba, or you get the idea? But Grandpa, I don't speak Venezuelan. That's the whole point, Johnny. They want to put you in a really bad prison that's in a country where you don't know anybody, just so they can say they were nice and good and they protected America. That sounds kind of confusing, Grandpa. What are they protecting? They're protecting their friends who are the 0.00001% of the planet. Some of them are now trying to become trillionaires because, being a person with, say, $600 billion, you can't even go to lunch on that nowadays. You know what I'm saying? All right, kids, I'm going to send this off to Paul. I got 9 minutes to go to my calendar and figure out if in fact I have any kind of an appointment, and why it's bugging the blankety blank out of me. So, Sugarfoot, what is going on now? It's a wonder the McAfee thing hasn't come back. It really is. Let me see if my link, looks like my link might work. All right, so I'm going to I got to take this forwarding message out of here. And this is supposed to be version number, we lost the subject line. I don't know why we did. That worries me. Most everything in my life goes wrong very deeply. So I'm going to say here is the GoFundMe first draft write up. All right, and we're going to send this off to Mr. Adigwe, who even, Joan of Arc was like, 14 when she liberated France. Why can't there be a kid? Oh, you piece of fuck. Why can't there be a kid named Paul in Nigeria who's like 16 or 14 or I don't know, 25, whatever he is, something's wrong. Something's going wrong here, and I don't know what it is. I'm going to try to pull the trigger on this just in case it goes right. Besides, I got to get to the calendar, and the calendars on the phone don't seem to sync properly with the calendar on the computer, so I never quite know. That didn't go through. I don't know why. It messed up. Boy, aren't I a genius? It doesn't even show up anywhere. I don't understand life. I sent it somewhere and it's gone. The whole thing that I wrote, you sat right here and watched me write it. This is what happens in my life. Watch this. It is completely friggin' gone. I swear to God, I am not lying to you. It's not in the drafts. Let's see if it's in the sent. Can't see the sent yet. Let me refresh the... Really, seriously, let me refresh the email. Okay, email does not want to refresh. This is real, you guys. This is really happening. This is really happening. Seriously. This is really happening. How in God's name does that happen? You saw me sit here and work on this. And now it's just gone. Really, seriously. It's version 5. It's nowhere to be seen. This is one of the kinds of nightmares that I live through every day. I don't believe it. I made that. I sat right here in front of you and corrected it grammatically. Here it is. Apparently I don't know. Here it is, though. It somehow, it got attached underneath version 4 instead of as a separate document. I don't know how or why. Oh, Lord, help me, please. This is so amazing. I just can't. Life, to me, is like one big, well, not all the time. I was going to say one big happy rape. Just, yes, I shouldn't say that. Oh, you're violating everybody's rights. You shouldn't be talking about rape so much. Just because you're a man who's being raped, you shouldn't weaponize your rape. You don't think I remember what shit people are saying? You shouldn't be That's what the right wing, the MAGAs, would say. Oh, he's weaponizing his rape in order to make a monetary gain. Oh, there's a good one. Yeah, so that, we could probably put him in front of a firing squad for that. Let's do that. There you go. Yeah. I swear to God, I'm giving them ideas by saying words like firing squad and whatever else, right? I still can't get this thing to go out to Paul. I'm sitting here in email, the to spot in the email. I pull up Paul Adigwe. I send one to myself. I click send. You think the thing will send? Hell no. That could never possibly happen. I got 3 minutes now to figure out why my calendar says I've got a 1 o'clock appointment that I do not remember. This thing may or may not have gone out to Paul. Let's race over to the calendar and see what appointment I got to go call and beg somebody's apology for missing. Hopefully it's not a client. Maybe it's a webinar or... All right, come on, people. All right, today's the 20th. Apparently I have no appointment at 1 o'clock. So wherever that thing's coming from, it says call Blake. This is not on my calendar. Call Blake Alterman? maybe these phones that I bought brand new were really refurbished instead, and that's a message from the previous owner of the phone. I don't know anybody named Blake Alderman. I really don't. Today's the 20th. The only thing on my calendar yet still today is a meeting at 6 p.m. Pacific time with Parman Ralhan, a wellness expert. Got a splitting headache, but I can't take the medicine for another hour. We can go call Paul right now and let him know that we sent it. I think I will go, if you'll forgive me. I am gonna send this again because, Nigeria's internet service is not very good. We were doing a show a while back, Paul and I, and his. Oh yeah, let's see. Yeah, don't stay up here where I can actually work on you. Go hide in a corner somewhere and make it even more irritating for me to try to get anything done. So this was version 5. I'm going to call this next one version 5 because I didn't change anything. Copy number 2 so we can distinguish one from the other. All right, we're going to send it to Adigwe again. Now the ball's in his court, okay? If he turned out to be a scammer, a liar, a freak, that'll happen. And it, I live in America and I'm poor, but some women, and I tell this story as often as I can, and I don't remember the source. I did at one time see it somewhere. Some women in Africa, the continent of Africa, are so poor that, and they're single mothers with kids, that what they feed their children for a meal is the dirt under their feet. Think about that for a minute, please. But then, Bezos and Musk and the prince of, living the dream. Here's our hack. Son of a gun. My daddy was a pistol. I'm a son of a gun. And I didn't write down the last time it came. But I don't remember. This thing here has only been on for 27 entire minutes from the very beginning. So, damn well that this McAfee thing has been... see, I usually write them down. I usually write these... when this thing appears, I write it down in a little book. We've got hundreds, like 400 or 500 of these. Last time I was on both of these phones recording, so I didn't write it down, but it happened after this one over here was recording, and that's only been 27 minutes. So this had to have come up in less than 30 minutes. So, and now I will write the time now, because it'll be up again in a few minutes. It came up at 1:02 p.m., right? Oh, my life is so much fun. Gee, cheese whiz. All right, I usually mess up the camera as soon as I touch it. Nonetheless, I'm going to try to touch this camera and re-show you the McAfee thingy. And then maybe finally I can either go to the bathroom or possibly call Paul, let him know the letter's done, or possibly what? So many things you can't say. You think swearing is bad. You ought to try some of the thoughts in the mind of a mentally ill person who's in a psychiatric hospital 12, 15 times.